All rise and shout. Let's get to what's trending.
Trevin for three, right side. Got it to go! Trevin nailed for three. Straight away. To Ali Khalifa. Wide open. He drives and dunks it. Hard-earned and well-won victory.
What's trending presented by BYU Food to Go, the MVP of your next event. We heard Cody Feger say, we expect Big 12 basketball to be, in a phrase, mental warfare. We're learning about that each and every game.
Jeez.
BYU figures it out against UCF, and they survived to get their first Big 12 win 3 games in. So now that it is official that BYU is in the win column, Jarom, in conference, after that 63-58 triumph over UCF, what did Saturday's win really mean for BYU basketball?
I think if BYU had lost, the rhetoric would be pretty sour today. Yeah, it would be wildly bad. So for the fact that BYU went on the road in the longest road trip of the year, I'm assuming Orlando is more than West Virginia. Maybe West Virginia is. But that was a heck of a win because BYU had to do it a different way. They did it on defense, and they did it in spite of free throw disparity again because that's an issue. I'll talk about that in a second. But it's too dramatic to say it saved the season, but I'm telling you, if BYU was 0-3, coming off of this with number 9 net, Iowa State, who's going to get ranked today, by the way, it would be weird, man, because you were playing the 4th lowest ranked net team in the league. This is one of the more winnable games. BYU plays a team that just beat number 3 Kansas.
That's the thing.
UCF did what I was hoping, which was came down from the high of that. They could not match that intensity. Getting that first one's a big deal. Get it on the board. BYU did it. They played great defense. 58 points allowed is the second most against P6 team this year for BYU. Oh, the yam from Ali Khalifa, play of the game, play of the year. UCF shot 29% overall, 17% from 3. They did not make a lot of shots. BYU played good enough defense, right, to prevent them. Held on. BYU's up 13 with 7 minutes left, and it gets down to 2 late. BYU made enough clutch plays to earn the win in the end, and BYU had to win a different way. I am concerned about the fouls and free throws still moving forward for BYU. BYU had more fouls in this game. The refs, da-da-da. What's the controllable element? Foul less. Get to the rim more. I'm not sure BYU's offense is made for that.
That's where they missed Dawson Baker so much.
Dawson Baker would have helped. Clearly, Dawson is going to be shut down for the season. It has not been reported. I'm not reporting it. It's just super obvious that they didn't play him against UCF. They didn't play him, the game before, right, against Baylor?
We've heard the coaches say his foot's not getting better.
They haven't announced it publicly. I don't know this, but it just seems obvious. That would have helped. So that's a quad 1 win because UCF 75 today. That's a quad 1 win. Any quad 1 win, amazing.
Never complain about it, ever.
Now you have confidence going into Iowa State at home, which is a top 10 net game. 2 teams at 13-3. Let's go. Big, huge game.
Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit dramatic to say it saved the season, and I'm not there yet. But my goodness,
almost.
If BYU's 0-3 and they are with Oklahoma State as the 2 winless teams in conference, and now you're staring down Iowa State at home.
And Texas Tech on the road.
And you got to go to Texas Tech.
Jeez.
Not to mention BYU's got to host Texas on the 27th. The
Houston coming up.
Houston before that.
It was 1-2.
The path doesn't get any easier for BYU. It meant so much to BYU to be able to fend off some, mental demons of doubt that were starting to creep in a little bit after losing to Cincinnati and not being able to close it out against Baylor. This team knows what a win feels like, and there's something to climbing that mental barrier. As ugly as it was at times, and as weird as it got at the end when BYU probably shouldn't have let it get to that point when you're up 13 with 7 minutes to go, they just found a way.
Banking in a 3.
Yeah.
When is it going to be pretty, by the way? I don't know that BYU is going to have a pretty win in the league. It's going to be
Maybe they make 16 threes in a game and they win by 12. Who knows?
Probably one of those or 2. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a slog. It's going to feel weird. This ain't Pepperdine and Pacific in Portland.
Who cares how it happens?
This
just
is
win.
This is very different. It's just like football, Spence, where I was like, forget, this ain't the whack. You don't have Ty Detmer throwing for 450 and winning by 30 against New Mexico. Every win is precious.
Jarom,
the
best way that I can explain what is happening in the Big 12 Conference is kind of how the NFL is. You can lose. We all hear it, any given Sunday, but there's real truth in
They
that.
even made a movie about it.
There's real truth in that. The margin of error is so thin in the NFL that, you know, a lowly team like Carolina can go and figure it out, or the New York Jets can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, it's like, how does that happen? It's the NFL. Margin of error is so razor thin. That exists in Big 12 basketball. And it will
More
be
than
there
football.
all, yeah.
Like football, there was some disparity there. There were some bad teams.
What
Ain't no bad. Saturday was 13 versus 14 in the preseason poll.
You know what it means?
What?
BYU's win right now means that they're 1-2, and they have the same conference record right now as Houston, Oklahoma, and Texas.
Oklahoma was the top 10 team last week. By the way, carnage in the top 25 as we look at the Big 12 standings. 17 top 25 losses from 15 teams. AP top 10 teams went 3-8 on the road versus unranked teams. That's the, quote, bloodiest week, Jared Burson with this, from top 10 teams in those spots since 92. It was hard to win last week.
Which was also the last time the Lions won a playoff game.
How about that? I'm still not over Puka was held on that last play.
Pass interference, holding something.
I ain't a Rams fan, but there you go. I'm a Puka fan. Yeah, it's tough to win. Like, every win is precious. In the pursuit of at least 7. You got to get 6 more in the next 15. You got to go at least, it feels like, 6 and 9 in the last 15 Big 12 games. Come on.
Get to 7 and 11.
At least.
Listen, because this conference is so weird and BYU gets to enjoy the Marriott Center.
I freaking love this, by the way.
I still believe that BYU will win some games that are quote unquote not supposed to win, and that there will still be a loss or two that they're not supposed to lose that game. It's going to happen.
What game is BYU not supposed to lose, though?
UCF at home, maybe?
Oklahoma State
Oklahoma
at home?
State on the road or at home?
Those are the only ones.
Hopefully
West
they
Virginia
don't
at
happen.
home?
Hopefully those don't happen, but I don't think BYU plays West Virginia at home, do they? They only play West
Just
Virginia
on the road?
On the road.
Okay.
And that's a weird game now, too. West Virginia,
beat Texas.
lowly West Virginia, just beat Texas.
Yeah, ain't nobody lowly in this league.
Seriously. Like, Oklahoma State is struggling the most, but Oklahoma State took Baylor to overtime a little over a week ago.
Yes. Like, Oklahoma State clearly looks like the worst team in the league. But they have challenged some teams in a way that you cannot overlook. There's literally nobody that you can go, win for sure. Like, what's BYU's lowest win percentage in Ken Palm? I'm sitting here. 41% against Houston at home. 45% against Kansas on the road. Yeah.
The way BYU is
these
playing.
are pretty high for me still. I'm like, I don't know.
The way that BYU approaches the game and plays the game, if they make a few more threes and make a few more free throws, I can understand why the Ken Pomeroy metric and ESPN's Basketball Power Index has BYU.
It's based on
where
the
they have
non-conference, bro. Like, it's not based on 3 Big 12.
We all knew that there was going to be a change for sure, that some of these otherworldly numbers were certainly going to be grounded to a degree, and they have been.
It's been more than we thought, though, I think.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like, if BYU can make just 1 or 2 more threes and make a few more free throws, then maybe they don't lose to Cincinnati, or maybe they're able to close things out against Baylor.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's just, again, razor thin margin of error.
Let me tell you my biggest issue right now with BYU, which I started to address just moving forward. Exciting to win. The minus, and Greg tweeted these up, minus 17 in fouls right now, minus 44 free throw attempts in the 3 Big 12 games.
Which is crazy.
Minus 33 free throw makes. This is not sustainable. BYU is only 3.5% worse than its opponents, by the way. Not a huge number. You got to shoot better, obviously. I'm not sure BYU is going to get to the line as much. They've got to guard better and foul less. And then the Big 12 is okay with, you going to the rim hard, they're going to call fouls. They will also call ticky-tack, it looks like. So fewer of those.
Yeah.
If you're going to foul, get them, you go to the rim too, though. So BYU has to, I think, adjust, and they've got to attack a little more.
For sure, and that's why we
when you get that 2-on-1 at the rim, maybe consider going at the rim instead of the open 3. You want open 3s too. I'm just saying this is not sustainable. Those numbers, if BYU continues down that path, I don't think they'd make the tourney. you're not going to win enough games with those numbers. You have to do something a little different.
And that's why we bring up Dawson Baker.
You kind of got lucky at UCF that you played good enough defense and they missed a lot of shots. Like, that's not always going to happen. You only scored 63 and won.
I know.
That was nice.
Nice to hold them to 58.
Good enough defense,
But
right?
my goodness.
Tremendous.
But again, if you're not familiar with Dawson Baker's game, he scores essentially half of his points in his college basketball career at the free throw line.
Yeah, he was top 200 in college basketball last year, getting to the
He draws a lot of fouls, is very aggressive. BYU really doesn't have another player like Dawson Baker in that fashion. So there would have to be a mindset shift for a few of the players. Maybe Jackson Robinson could do it a little bit more.
Dude's like 93%
right?
from
Like because he's been so good from the free throw line.
88 now.
Although he weirdly had a miss late in the game.
Well, it's 15 to 17. That's 88%.
Yes,
get to the
maybe
stripe
he's the guy because he is such a good free throw shooter.
He's won a game.
Dallin Hall has that built into his game
Yeah.
a little bit. So we'll see how BYU approaches that metric for sure.
Or Spencer Johnson.
It is a concern.
Yeah, he's 82%, 38.